everybody. This is Brian. Welcome to Chiller Night Live. We're from 8 p.m. to 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll talk about all things horror, sci-fi, paranormal. You pick the topic, we'll make a show out of it, by golly. All right, so hey, happy Christmas Eve, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good time. I am sitting here in the magical winter wonderland of the Jack Shadow's Dark Domain. So hopefully the snow will keep the werewolves and zombies at bay. And there is Renee. Hello, Avon, Bryan Hogue, and just a plethora of emojis and and symbols and image. I wish all of you could see the imagery that I'm looking at right here. This is just incredible. well, thank you for joining us, Renee. Good to see you back. I'm glad you're with us. Patty says, "Bon Notello." All right, Bon Notel. Oh, right back at you. So thanks for joining us. Renee is continuing with an onslaught of imagery here. So thank you, Renee. See if I can translate some of this stuff. Stephanie says, hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining us. Tom says, Yahoo! Yahoo, indeed. Tom, it is Christmas Eve. I hope all of you are just having a fantastic time. Don't know if you're all congregating with friends and family. I hope you are. But if you're not, we're going to do it right here. By golly. Renee says, I have a broken arm. Sorry, I can't type. Oh, no. Well, the speedy recovery to you, Renee. Bonehead says, hey, hello, Brian, family of the Chiller Night crew. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. Right back at you, Bonehead. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Patty says, are those pod spores I see falling behind you, Brian? Maybe. Yeah, sure, we'll say that. Why not? Yeah, it's a little chilly here in the... It's a chilly night here at Chiller Night. So, yes, you can see the snow falling. Ken says, Merry Zemas. Zemas? Someone has Zemas? But thank you for joining us, Ken. Merry Zemas, indeed. Bonus says, hey, hello, Tom. I have a Merry Christmas. You? Yes. And Stephanie says, get well, Renee. Yes, get well. And hopefully maybe Paul will join us tonight. Speaking of that, I know that I text back and forth with Paul tonight. He's going to try to make it, but again, he had mentioned before where his medicine makes him a little sleepy before the show starts here at night. That's why he's been missing, but hopefully Paul will get a chance to join us. So we will see. So, okay, just reading over some of the comments. Looks like we're hitting it right out the gate here. And speaking of right out the gate, I am going to just tell you guys every Saturday night, going to remind you, the reason we started all this craziness is every Saturday night, you can watch Chiller Night Theater, hosted by the one and only, the infamous Jack Shadow. Come on, where's a picture of Jack Shadow? We'll put up a picture of why we were here. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Jack Shadow, host of Chiller Night Theater, and you can watch that every Saturday night on Stream TV. And right there at streammedia.tv, that's 9 o'clock every Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And they play 3, 4, 5 episodes sometimes. It gets crazy, out of control. But you can watch that every Saturday night at streammedia.tv, Chiller Night Theater. Hosted by, again, Jack Shadow, or sometimes, occasionally, at least the last couple of years, it was co-hosted or hosted, standing in for Jack Shadow, by moi. So you'll see either me or Jack Shadow. The Awkward Meeple says, "Good evening and Merry Christmas, everyone." Well, good evening, the Awkward Meeple. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Merry Christmas Eve to you and everyone. Stephanie says, hi, Jack Shadows. Yes, Jack Shadow. What a character. Now, if you recall, tonight, I put it out there that if you wanted to submit your pictures and of your Christmas trees or Christmas decorations, I'd share them with all of you. So I will do that. Dee says, "Ghoul evening and Merry Christmas, everyone." Well, Ghoul evening, Dee, and Merry Christmas Eve to you as well. Thanks for joining us. Patty says, "Don't forget, Jack is behind you too, Brian." I know. If you, that's right. That's right. Thank you, Patty, for that. Yeah, that was a gift from Patty, and this here was, if you can see the mummy plaque, that was from Tom. So. Very nice, very considerate of you guys to send me these things over the years. I really appreciate that. Dee says, sorry, I had the wrong account open, LOL. The awkward meeple. Well, hey, Dee and Patty and Tom, you've all submitted your decorations, so I'm going to start the show with showing some of your Christmas trees or your Christmas decorations. Whoever sent them in, I'm going to display them for all you viewers. John says, it's Tuesday night and Christmas Eve. And to everyone's surprise, it's time for Chiller Night Live. This is Crozak the Grand. And from my Santa tracking station, and now here's our host and holiday cheer master, Bryan Hogue. Well, thank you, Crozak the Grand. I much appreciate your ever stellar intros. Thank you very much. Glad you could join us. Yeah, happy Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve. So you can see back in the castle courtyard, the Christmas tree is put up with the large pumpkin prominently displayed. No doubt carved by our very own Jack Shadow. Of that I'm certain. But it says, I've passed along happy holidays sentiments to the Chiller Night crew and our sweetheart of screams, our favorite ghoul friend, Miss Glamfangs. Oh, yes! Well, I hope Glamfangs is doing well, and, yeah, when next you converse with her, let her know that we are thinking of her and we miss her. And also, David and Diana, if you watch this at a later time, we miss all of you long-time regular viewers who can't be with us tonight on Tuesday night, since we're doing the show on Tuesday nights instead of Saturdays now. So who knows, folks, what will occur in 2025. I truly believe good things are in motion, so we'll see how things go. And I'm very, very happy. Exciting things are going on, of which maybe at a later time I can tell you more about once I know. But from everything I'm hearing, as well. I am referring to our Cranberry Mall, where my store is. So Roger says, Merry Christmas! Oh, all right. Well, thank you, Roger. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. Renee says, I am strictly doing autocorrect microphone. Okay. Well, that ought to be a challenge. How the heck are you doing the symbols, the emojis? But hey, maybe I better, I'm not typing a letter whatsoever, she says. Oh, wow. that's, hey, that's cool. I don't know how you're doing it, but that's cool. All right. So, let's begin here with, how about Patty? I think Patty was the first to send a picture. So here is Patty's Christmas tree, and actually, if you look, I'm gonna do this was actually a separate picture of a spider. That's a spider ornament. That's a spider ornament on the Christmas tree. And what did Patty tell me about that? Something like that's an old, what is it, Ukrainian tradition, or for good luck to have the spider ornament in the Christmas tree. But there's Patty's, and then here is Dee's. Dee sent 2 pictures as well. Here is Now this what she put her upstairs tree. Very, very Christmassy. Oh, look at that. Got the presents underneath. Even the, oh my gosh, how much more Christmas can you get than a little train going around the tree? All right, very Norman Rockwell. Like it, like it. And this is the downstairs tree. And I'm really digging the old, the backdrop there with the Nightmare Before Christmas imagery. Very, very cool. Thank you, Patty and Dee. And then Tom Paisley sent in his pictures. Look at that. Very full tree right there. Look at that. Nice and, that's a big tree. Nice and wide. Thank you, Tom, for sending that. And then there's a few of his ornaments. We got the Tom Moon. And I thought it was a banana at first, Tom, to be honest with you. I was like, wow, was it a banana ornament? Isn't that something? But upon further inspection, it looks to be a moon. Okay, now this one's a little easier for me to decipher visually. That's a mummy. And I remember these from last year, the mummy and the octopus. So right there, the Christmas octopus. I don't know if those are traditional anywhere else. I forget the story behind it, if there was one. Like I know Patty had the one about the spider, but I really appreciate you guys sharing that with us in the show here. That is very cool. Oh, and then I'll show ours. So is Ava at the mall running the escape room? Ava says, or Renee says, no, it's not open tonight. Not open tonight. Not open today or of course tomorrow, but nope. Bonus says, you just did pass along your wishes, Brian. Miss Glam Fangs watches the shows whenever she can. Oh, that's cool. Well, Glam Fangs, we miss you. And if you're watching this, hopefully you'll watch us very, very soon. But we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. Or is Ava inside the house doing chores? No, she's inside visiting with our neighbor. Our neighbor came over, very, very nice, and she came over to visit us tonight. So that was very nice of her. They're having some tea. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Renee says another part of the house. He's in another part of the house. Bunny says, wouldn't Glam like that spider ornament? Right, right. Let's see. Renee says, the symbols and emojis are already pretty typed on the clipboard. Oh. Okay, very cool. Bunny says, beautiful trees, everyone. I'm going to get caught up, and then I'll show our tree. And Tom says, I actually do have a banana ornament. Is that a banana? Or was that a moon? You mean you also have a banana one? Okay. Maybe. Okay, John says, question, what has been the best anti-elf on the shelf pick that has shown up online lately? Yeah, I've seen some of those. The one I've seen has a predator with what's left of one. And for some fun, I replied, that Buddy is next. I got over 100 likes and more. Buddy the elf. Dee says, love the mummy ornament. Yeah, we're going to get some for next year, for the store next year, for our Christmas tree. We bought a Christmas tree for the store this year, but I only put it up like maybe 10 days before Christmas. So Ava says, well, we got to get some of these monster ornaments to put on there. So we'll get some for next year. Bonin says, it could be a banana, Brian. After a few Christmas beverages, it looked like that, or anything else you'd care to imagine it being. That I'm sure is very true. Too much of the eggnog. Could be seeing anything. Brian says, Merry Christmas. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas to you and Terry, and thanks for joining us tonight. Tom says, that was a moon. Okay. So in addition to a moon, you actually do have a banana ornament. All right. Okay, now here is our tree, Ava and I. And this is pretty much the spot that we put it every year in the one corner. I'm sure everybody does that. You know, you have your one spot for your Christmas tree. We don't have a tree skirt on this particular picture because at the time I took this, I don't put the tree skirt up until right before, maybe a couple days before Christmas, because we have 3 cats. So the tree skirts really tend to take a beating. And but that's our tree. And that's our nativity scene with, looks like an angel, maybe named Gloria on top. No, but that's our nativity scene. That's above our fireplace. I wonder if you can see it. No, you can't see it on that picture. And of course, on the horse is my Lone Ranger ornament. So I got to have that out every year, uh, just because. All right, so that was ours. Um, Stephanie says, my tree is a decoration, but thankfully we didn't have to decorate it because it already decorated, and it was small. My mom had a bad knee, and she didn't want me to handle a big tree. Ah, that makes sense. Be nice and practical. Dee says, I'll be popping in and out here tonight watching Red One with the family. Okay. Yeah, let us know how that is. If or maybe next week. By then you'll watched it. Lucas the Spider. Oh, he's cute, Bonet says. Ah, here we go. Patty says, in the Ukraine, some children had a tree but were too poor to decorate. They went to bed, and when they awoke, it was beautifully covered in webs, courtesy of a spider. It is considered good luck. Ah, that's a neat little legend, a little backstory there. Very cool. Stephanie says, love it, Brian. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Patty says, to put a spider or a web on a tree for Christmas in the Ukraine. Ah, that is very cool. That's very neat. I love hearing about these old folklores and legends and stuff like that. It's pretty neat. Tom, I guess that counts as mooning, eh? Tom Bonet says. Yes. Kristen says, it's a beaut, Clark. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I haven't watched that movie yet this year. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. The National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. In fact, I haven't watched that many Christmas shows this year. I did manage, because every year I got to do this, is watching Disney's A Christmas Carol, the one with Jim Carrey as the Scrooge, the animated one. It is so cool. I remember taking the boys to go see that in the theater in 2009. It was 3D, and it was so cool. And that one scene where the ghost of Christmas Past is flying with Ebenezer through the woods, the forest, and stuff like that. And then later, with the Ghost of Christmas Present, is taking him around the city, flying through the city. Oh, to see that in the theater on the big screen in 3D was amazing. It was so amazing. Dee says, so pretty, your Christmas tree has such a nice glow. Oh, thank you, Dee. I appreciate that. Brett says, Merry Christmas. Hey, Brett, Merry Christmas to you. Doug says, Merry Christmas, Bryan Hogue. Best wishes for you and your family. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. Thanks. The same to you and yours. Patty says, Red One is cool. Saw it at the theater, and now it's free on Prime. Oh, is that right? Is it free on Prime? That's quick. Is it? Did that just come out of the theater? That's something. That was quick. Patty says, if you love these old tales, you'll love your gift that is supposed to be delivered Friday. Oh, thank you, Patty. Wow. Really? That's cool. Now I can't imagine what it is, but wow. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. That's very thoughtful. Oh, I can't wait to see what it is. Yeah. Very, very cool. Well, Brett, how are things at the Cranberry Mall tonight? Hopefully everything went well. Brett says 2025 is going to be quite the year. I believe it will. Having good thoughts. And also at the Cranberry Mall, I have to throw in my shameless plug. Well, that's actually kind of what the show is now. You know, a big part of it is talking about, or at least I always have to at least mention my store at the Cranberry Mall in Venango County. Venango County! Not the one in Butler County that's right beside us. Our neighboring county, Butler County. We are in Venango. I can see where the mix-up happens. But believe me, I'm up by, if it helps, Oil City, Franklin. Okay, those will be your landmarks. But I'm at the Cranberry Mall, Venango County Chiller Night. That's right, Chiller Night. I have a store with merchandise, monster merch. I'm getting more and more in. A lot of my stuff's on back order, but it is slowly coming in. And escape rooms, of course, I have the 2 horror themed escape rooms. The Witching Hour. It's an hour-long escape room. You and your friends can try to get through that. You have 1 hour to get out of the old witch's house before she comes home, before the witching hour. Okay, now if you want to book this, you can call 814-209-8214, or you can go online and book that at chillernight.com. The same goes for Zombie Outbreak. Maybe witches aren't your thing. Maybe they're not. Maybe you don't want to mess with them whatsoever. Well, we got zombies too. And this is also a 1 hour escape room, Zombie Outbreak. All right. Can you get out in time? Give it a try. Gather up some of your friends and see what you can do. All right. Now, where else do we have something for? Aha. We also have a seasonal haunted house. I say seasonal right now, but you never know. You never know. That could become a year-round haunted attraction. We will see. Jack Shadow's House of Terror, haunted house. So let's see what we can do with that in 2025. Oh yeah, and I've got these these just came in, new merchandise. Every once in a while I show pictures of the merchandise from the store. Got these really cool Dracula bendy figs that came in yesterday, and so I just put those out there yesterday. Brand new. So if you're out that way, stop on in and say hello and go through an escape room, or just buy some merchandise, or not, or just say hello. I'll take that too. Let's see. John says, I'm planning to watch Violent Night. Violent Night. Krampus, Fat Man, oh, the one with Mel Gibson. I haven't seen it. And the 1951, A Christmas Carol, very soon. Those all sound like excellent choices. Ava's saying hello to everyone. Okay, done with my chores, LOL. Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. Brett says, and thank you for joining us, Mrs. Hogue. Yes, Merry Christmas indeed. Brett says, today went fairly quick, I would imagine. Oh, Ava says, I'm changing that witch, LOL, it's going to be me. Yeah, she wants more of a I would imagine, like the Aura of the Witch look for the witching hour. Instead of the old monstrous looking scary witch. All right. We can do that. Yep. She says, Tom says, get on camera, Ava. She was on the treadmill. She was cleaning, doing some cleaning, got on the treadmill, and then our neighbor came over and was visiting. She might still be out there. I'm not sure, but Patty says, hi, Ava. That gift is for you, too. Oh, thank you, Patty. What gift? Patty sent us a gift, and it's supposed to get here Friday. So we'll see what that is. Troy says, Merry Christmas. Hey, my brother. All right, Troy, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yes. I was talking about this last week on the show here. Some of these old toys and stuff, old memories of stuff. I think I had mentioned this, and then I remembered it again either today or last night. I was thinking about this. These old electronic video games, just these little LED things, or is that what they were back then in the 80s, like early 80s? It was a space laser fight and boxing. We had both little. I don't know, that immediately took me back to the early 80s. That just instantly transported me in my mind. So that was one of those. Ava saying, hey, Troy. Troy saying, hey, Ava. Hey, we got to do that video. We got to do the video chat tomorrow on Christmas with because Troy's over in Nevada. So Stephanie says last Friday I watched Black Christmas 1974. Ah, I see. Well, there's some of the some other Christmas titles, Christmas horror titles that were mentioned by John earlier. And Ava says, "Thanks, Patty." Hi, Stephanie. Very cool. Very cool. Yes. So does anybody what's your plans tomorrow? I know we're gonna stay in. Ava and I. The boys are coming over, and they're bringing the girlfriends over, and Ava's mother and cousins. So we're gonna have just a nice time here at the house, and just have a nice, very nice Christmas as always. Brett, Ava says Skype. Oh, for the video. Yeah. That didn't work as well. We were trying that the other night, Troy and I, on the phone. And Troy and I, me and Ava were talking, and I would love to. We did it once. Is that what we used before, Ava? Is Skype? Because we were. I mean, I had my brother on the big screen TV, and we were talking back and forth. That was really cool. Brett says, "Bring back Atari." Yes, Atari, the old Atari 2600 game unit. Ah, man, that takes me back. Yeah, I love that. Al says, "Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. Merry Christmas." Hey Al, thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas to you. Yes, talking about. Oh man, plans for tomorrow, and maybe some early gifts that you got, maybe as a kid, that you wanted to share with us tonight. Yeah, those were some that I remember. The Atari, of course, that Brett brought up, and yeah, that little game unit. What was the company? I actually took a picture because I sent it to my brothers today, Bob and Troy, to see if they remembered that stuff. Yeah. Whoops. Let's see here. What was that called? I got it. Sorry, I just gotta know. I gotta know, just so I can continue on. Oh, I don't. Maybe it. Oh yeah. Bambino Space Laser Fight, made in Japan. Yeah, that, and they had Space Laser Fight and boxing. Ah, that's so funny. Yeah, that just takes me back. Uh, we'll be eating with my parents for lunch, then Elisha parents for dinner. Brett says. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like quite a nice plan. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Patty says Atari is available every year at Walmart. Sold last one several days ago at mine. Patty, I remember you had sent me a picture of that, showing me like the retro Atari, game units, and I actually last night I went to after I closed the store up, I went over to Walmart. So we have a Walmart that's real close to our shopping mall, and so I ran over there, picked up a last minute item, and I was looking to see if they had any Ataris, and they didn't have any in the Walmart that's closest to the mall. That's the only one I looked at, but we had one time. Remember that, Ava? If you're still watching, we had one of those replica or whatever, those newer ones. We bought probably. I say newer. I bought it probably 10, 12 years ago. But it was pretty cool. It had a ton of old Atari games on it, like Space Invaders and Pac-Man and stuff like that. Troy says Stretch Armstrong was pretty awesome until he got a hole and all the stuff oozed out. I think his enemy was some kind of dragon guy. Yeah, there was Stretch Armstrong and Stretch Monster. Stretch Monster looked an awful lot like the Hulk's arch enemy. The what's the The Abomination, is that his name? The big green guy with the little fin-looking ears, and yeah, yeah, it was Stretch Monster. I do remember that. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Stretch Monster got a little hole in him. Yeah, all that stuff. It's sad. Um, Brett said I had a Sega Genesis growing up. Oh, see, we didn't have anything other than the Atari. Um, Ava says, yeah, it was a joystick. Yeah, I remember that. It was wasn't I remember kind of. She says, yeah, I thought it actually had like a little game unit, and then it had the old fashioned looking joysticks to play it. That was really cool. And I remember, some of the games on there that were my favorite were like Pitfall. Like, and wasn't that like a ColecoVision game or something like that? For Atari? I forget how that worked. I don't know. That was really the only time I was ever much of a gamer, except for back in the 90s. Back in like the mid-90s. Mid to late 90s. I think it was more in the late 90s. A buddy of mine brought over a PlayStation, the original PlayStation, and he showed me this game called Resident Evil 2. And from that moment on, I loved Resident Evil. So, well, at least I bought. So I went out and I got that, and I got the original Resident Evil. And then maybe a couple years later, I got Part 3, Resident Evil 3, and I didn't like it as much. I liked the first two. Anyways, Al says, who's going to see Nosferatu tomorrow? That's right. Hey, I did look up, remember, I read Werewolves? We talked about these four movies last week. Werewolves, Return of the Living Dead, Nosferatu, and Wolfman. Remember that? Not the Wolfman, but Wolfman. Christian, you brought that one up, I think. Yeah, who's going to see Nosferatu? Anybody? Patty says, I still have my Atari joystick game console. Just bought Namco Museum on Switch for Pac-Man and Space Invaders. Oh, I love Space Invaders. Ava says, I had them all growing up. I missed Mr. Do. Yeah, Mr. Do. I don't remember that one, but I know Ava, that's her favorite game from those games when we were a kid. Tom is going to see Nosferatu tomorrow. Brett says, Space Invaders. Yeah. I need to get... You know what, Brett? I have a large, stand-up arcade game. And it looks like one of those old 70s and 80s, consoles. And supposedly I can upload, Space Invaders and stuff like that onto it. It's got a lot of games on, like Asteroids and, all kinds of other games. But I want Space Invaders, darn it. Maybe I'll put that in the store, in the lobby, just so people can come in and spend a few minutes playing some games. Ava says, bring the baby of the family. Being the baby of the family had its perks, LOL. Yeah. Mr. Do. We got to find that baby. Patty says, yeah, fistful of broomstick. Ah. What else do we have? Yes. Okay. All right. Now I went after the show last week. I didn't get any of the trailers because I wasn't sure. Probably should have. We would have had time, but I watched the trailer for Werewolves. That looked pretty cool. I did like that. The trailer for Return of the Living Dead, they didn't show too much other than this zombie dragon. Kind of looked like the Tarman zombie, from the original Return of the Living Dead. Kind of looked a little bit like Tarman. That's what it reminded me of. And you see this dark image, but you can tell it's a shuffling, like a lumbering zombie. And he's dragging this little tree with him, And they don't really show that much other than that. That's the trailer. And it's going to be, I forget when that one says it comes out, but it's got a while. I think it might be a year from now. Nosferatu, of course, that comes out tomorrow. Check the trailer for that. That looks really cool. I would really like to see that one. And Wolfman. I saw the trailer. The trailer didn't look bad. I just can't, I am not impressed with the Wolfman, the way they make him look. But Renee says in television, made by Mattel. In television. I remember hearing about in television. I think I did. Wasn't that one of the game things like ColecoVision or Atari? Made by Mattel, huh? Sega Genesis Robocop versus the Terminator. Oh yeah. NEC Robocop versus the Terminator. Or NES. Okay. Brett says, me and you, Bryan Hogue, game night. Oh yeah. Yeah, Space Invaders. Yeah. Yeah, I could do it. I put it right in the lobby. I think that'd be fun. Renee says, and I think Ava wouldn't mind seeing it go. Right? If you're still watching. Renee says, does the new Lord of the Rings movie out in the movie theaters, but it's all anime? Really? Another one so soon? Is it? Well, it's about, what, 20 years? Gosh. Time. I have a very hard time, calibrating time. I really do, because something could happen. It could have happened in the 90s, and for me, I think it just happened. Like, I don't have that memory of that being that far away. It's hard for me to. Remember in Star Wars where Obi-Wan is talking about the Clone Wars with Luke. He's telling him, you fought in the Clone Wars. Oh yes. Now, to me, I thought this was something that had happened a long time ago, like when he was a young man. And it's like, no, it just happened 20 years ago. To me, 20 years is like, that's not that long ago. I thought at least 30 years ago or so, something like that. But no, they're talking about 20 years. But that's I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why I don't register time correctly. I don't do time right. Apparently. Patty says, I'm not impressed with the new Fantastic Four, but I do like Doctor Doom's cloak. Oh, do they have a trailer out? Or are you just talking about, like, photos of the characters in their costume? I haven't actually seen either one of those. I have not. Do they show anything other than Doctor Doom's cloak? Do they show his mask? I'll tell you why I asked this. Because when, like, Robert Downey Jr., he was at some Comic-Con or something, and they show him with what looked to me like an Iron Man mask, just silver. And they were saying, like, that was is that how Doctor Doom's going to look? I'm not cool with that. I want the old classic Doctor Doom look. Renee says, all kids' movies in the theaters right now. Yeah, I gotta see that. Well, Ava says, what? I'm still here. Oh, I was talking about taking that arcade game out to the mall. I think that you would probably be pretty happy if I did that. Patty says, Lord of the Rings is a prequel, right? I couldn't tell you. I know there's Lord of the Rings, right, and The Hobbit, but I never really got into those, and I really don't know which was supposed to come first, to be honest with you. Brett says, come and see us at the mall, everyone. Yes. Yeah, I'll be back there on Thursday. So, yeah, I took today and tomorrow off. Patty says, time I all wobbly. Okay. Time is all wobbly. Troy says, that happens when you get older, trust me. Yeah, apparently so. Now, the 80s seem a long time ago. But even the 90s don't seem that long ago to me. But I don't know why. Oh, Patty says, new trailer of the Fantastic Four is on YouTube. Okay, I'll have to watch that. I didn't know that. Ava says, this is kind of hard. I can hear you in the other room. Plus, I have you on the TV, and I'm following on the phone. Oh, my gosh. So, you've got to be hearing me from 3 different sources. That would be. Stephanie says, this Friday is my birthday. Oh, no. this Friday is Stephanie's birthday. So, happy birthday, Stephanie. Happy early birthday, Stephanie. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a very happy birthday. So, very cool. Ava says, happy early birthday, Steph. Troy says, July 11th, Superman. That's right. What do you think? I hope it's done right. I hope it's done right. Yeah. Superman. It is kind of cool though that a hero that old, I mean, that's been around that long, is still as popular. You know, Superman, Batman, you know, they've been around since the 30s. So that is very cool. All right, everyone's saying happy birthday to Stephanie. Very nice. Yes, take it, LOL, Ava says. Yeah, so you're okay with I take the arcade game. Stephanie says, thanks, guys. Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, very, very welcome. So happy birthday to Stephanie. Merry Christmas all. Hey, Raymond, thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas. There's Raymond. He's on Facebook. So we appreciate that. We were just talking about some of the movies coming out. Tomorrow, Nosferatu comes out in theaters. Don't know who all is seeing that. Tom's going to go see that. He said, and I don't know if anybody else did, but yeah, that's right. That's right. Nosferatu. And as we said, we were talking about some of the trailers, like the 4 that I had wrote down. Werewolves, that did look cool. I would like to see that. Return of the Living Dead, Nosferatu, and Wolfman. And the trailers for all those look pretty cool. The one for Return of the Living Dead doesn't really show much, but it's very early in production from what it looked like. So that's all they really put out, like kind of a teaser trailer of this zombie. It looks like he's dragging like a little tree, is it a little Christmas tree or just a little tree? I'm not real sure what that was, but that's about it. Ava says, I am and none are in sync. We'll turn 2 of the volumes off. That's the best advice I can give you. Patty says, Superman trailer is on YouTube too. I haven't watched it yet. Now that one I did see. I did see that. My brother Troy and I are big Superman fans, so or just superheroes and comics in general, but especially like Superman, Batman. But yeah, I did see that one, and this is the first time we've seen a live action Crypto, the super dog. I don't, unless they've had him on one of the CW shows or something like that. I don't know, but that's the first time I think we've seen him, at least in the big screen, one of the motion pictures. Renee says, unfortunately, all my family relatives are in the graveyard. Oh, sorry to hear that, Renee. Well, hopefully you can spend some time with some friends or someone close tomorrow. I remember when I was in the Air Force for the first couple years. It was a little different because I was used to. I mean, my brother's on here and he can, I know he remembers this, but the holidays were always such a big deal. I mean, they really were a big deal. We'd all get together with our cousins and go out trick-or-treating. Thanksgiving and Christmas, we'd all, go to grandma's house or somebody's house. We'd, rotate, everybody would get together. And it was a big, huge family event. New Year's Eve, get together at somebody's house and celebrate New Year's Eve. Do the sauerkraut and kibasi and pork. It was just a lot of fun growing up. And then when I go into the service, I'm in my room by myself for I was at Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama, so that was a little different getting used to. It was okay. I mean, I wasn't depressed or nothing, but I mean, it was just like, okay, this is just the way it is. But it was different. I had to kind of get used to that. For at least, I think, 2 years I did that. Um, Gosh, that was back a while ago. In fact, on the 27th of 87 was when I went in to basic training. So it was just a couple days after Christmas I went in. So yeah, it is. So hopefully everybody has somebody to hang out with tomorrow, friends and family. Deesa's just finished watching Red One. It was really good, action-packed. Not your traditional Santa Claus. My one son, it didn't look like it on the trailer. My son said it had a huge plot hole, though. Oh, is that right? Brett says, what's everyone's Christmas traditions? That's a good question. What's everyone do? Everyone is a little different when it comes to that. Bonus says, well, Miss Ava, that's why they call that's what you call surround sound. LOL. Yeah, exactly. Patty says, Crypto was on Superboy TV series, which no one seems to have heard of except me. I have a feeling my brother Troy has heard of that, but I haven't. I'm not as a big fan of as far as watching the TV shows, but that's cool. I didn't know that. Renee says Boba Fett. There he is. Let's see. Patty says, D, do you think Krampus should have gotten that one snowblower at the end? Oh yeah, Okay. No spoilers. Raymond says, Brian, for the snow effect, are you using one of those outdoor lights that shines different patterns on the front of the house? No, it's probably the witches flying above me, just you know, throwing out little shreds of paper or something, or what they use in the movies, in this little soap flakes or something. Yeah, it's probably what. It's a little chilly here, but not that cold for snow. But Renee says, "Don't be sorry. Such is life. Such is life, right? Right. That's how it goes sometimes." Sorry, not snowblower, snow globe. Patty says, "Don't fret, y'all. So goes life." Renee says. So true, Ava says. And then Renee has another bunch of UFOs and alien heads and all kinds of asteroids, planets. Bonus says, it's Christmas and Bonehead is being a butthead. Oh, Patty says, I still think it's pod spores falling behind you. That's it. Yeah, that's what the witches are dropping. That's probably what they're doing. They're just up above these dark clouds high enough I can't see exactly what's going on. But that's my guess. It's either snow or witches are dropping pod spores, or maybe they're just being released by UFOs. Who knows? Good things to come, Brett says. Yes, absolutely. Bonus says, sorry, Miss Ava, I couldn't resist that crack. Butthead. All right, so, yeah. Speaking of the UFOs, we haven't heard anything about I haven't heard much about the UFOs. There was a big to-do about them. Are they still being sighted? I don't know. Has anybody heard anything else about that? I'll be honest, I haven't really been hearing much about them. It was a big deal for about 10 days or so, maybe two weeks. I don't know. Maybe they're still being seen, or maybe just people are just bored. Like, okay, that's it. A lot of dandruff falling. Yeah, some big monster up there shaking his head. Gonna, yep, Miss Renee, death is part of life. The last part. But it's still in there. Hope you have a great Christmas regardless. Yes, very well said, Bonehead. Yep. Oh my gosh, now I'm looking up at Renee's comment and more emojis are showing. You know, maybe that's what's happening, you know, because I wonder if I saw some of the stuff that you wrote at the very beginning of the show, if all of those little like planets and stuff like that would be filled in, where I could actually see a color emoji. Like now I'm seeing Christmas trees and UFOs and Christmas presents wrapped up. So New York has a no-fly drone zone currently. Ah. So if they are, it's a weird, and everyone is, and the drones are complying with that. I take it. It's so weird. Ava says it's our government. Boring news now, she says. Yeah. Yeah. They're not in the dark about it. You know, they know what's going on. Why the big mystery? But oh my gosh, it's 8:52. That means we are coming to a close here shortly in 8 minutes, or maybe 7.5. Speaking of drones, but I hope everyone has a fantastic Christmas. I really do. Brett says crop circle. Yeah. Yeah, they'll be seeing those in New Jersey next. Patty says, I personally think the drones were Amazon's attempt at using AI to teach the drones to deliver packages in the near future. I don't know. I mean, you know, that's what it is. Kind of a neat thought, but I also, Eve and I were talking about this. How would they do that to deliver with drones? I mean, are they flying over people's property? You know, I mean, what's the regulation there? I would hate for a drone. I mean, there's going to be accidents. There's going to be liability. How in the world is that going to happen? Like anything, any, increased degree of technology and knowledge and engineering, you're going to have your mistakes. You're going to have your accidents. I just hope that they're short-lived. Raymond says, I question the drones flying over military bases. Yeah, really. and those aren't shot down. Now, that could only be that the folks in charge of the military on those bases are being told not to shoot them down. You don't let a foreign object, fly over your military base. So, yeah. Tom says, Merry Christmas all. We're going to be here next week. Oh, that's right. Now, next week, next Tuesday night, is that not? That is New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm not sure. I will post whether we will do a show on New Year's Eve or not, because I'm not sure exactly what's going on New Year's Eve. If we have some friends and family over, I'm not sure that I'd be doing the show, but I'll keep you all posted as to whether we will have a show. If not, I will say right now, have a very happy New Year. I'm looking forward to going into 2025. I'm very much looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a fantastic year in many ways. So, Patty says, I heard some are shot down by civilians. Yeah, civilians, yeah. People are only going to put up with that stuff for so long. You're like, you better tell me what they are, or I'm shooting them down. Stay horror heavy, Renee says. Let me get caught up there. Al says, we are living in a War of the Worlds movie in the real world. Jason says, yeah, you never know. Jason says, Merry Christmas to all ghouls. Yes, you too, Jason. Thank you. Raymond says, some of the drones are the size of an SUV. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Renee says, extraterrestrial, ghost, alien, UFOs. Strange, huh? Strange ideas. You know, you never know what they are. Where are we at here? Show the family. Raymond says, show the family. Oh, if I have people over next week, yeah, I might do that. I don't know. Brett says, have fun and be safe. You too, Brett. Thank you. Bonin says, I guess I aggravated Miss Stephanie. Pressed too much. I still wish her a happy birthday, though. I'm sure that's not the case. But Ava says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Yes, Merry Christmas. Renee says, thank you for tonight's awesome Life Christmas show. Going to watch the 2 past shows I missed. Ah, very cool. Well, as always, I just want to thank everyone for joining me and each other. And happy Christmas Eve to you all. And I hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Probably be here next week, but I can't say that for sure. I don't know yet. I just don't know yet. But I hope everyone has a great day tomorrow. Ava says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Stephanie says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Take care, y'all, and see you next week. And thanks, Bones. All have a wonderful, safe Christmas, Raymond says. Yes. So, and with that, have a good night. Have a good chiller night. And Merry Christmas to all. And to all a chiller night. John says, you have been watching Chiller Night with Bryan Hogue. Merry Christmas. Yes. Thank you. All right, everyone. Have a great night and a Merry Christmas. See you.